Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 37, Framestorming with 7WH questions. This is my third or fourth take of this episode because I realized there's just way too much content. So it's going to turn what I hoped would be one or maybe two episodes into three or maybe four episodes. What's happened here is I had an insight. Now I'm going to sort of get on my soapbox about this one because it's about the difference between visualizing and planning and wishing things from the universe and actually doing things. The insight I had would not have been possible if I had just visualized the outcome. This can only be done by what I like to call swimming in it. Other people like Charles Duhigg, I believe. I always get confused between Charles Duhigg and Daniel Coyle because their work sort of overlaps. In any case, whoever it was who did Better, Smarter, Faster, which is Charles Duhigg, he talked about something called disfluency. So disfluency is a fancy word for, I'm getting alarms going off that shouldn't be there, shouldn't disturb my video. Disfluency is a fancy word for making something less fluent, making something less easy. So what they found was, or what he talked about in the book was, teachers had so much information available. It was so convenient and well arranged in a database that in fact, either nobody was using it or nobody was creating insights from it. So they started having the teachers manually write out index cards and other things. In other words, make it harder, do deeper level processing, do more slow thinking about the data they had, and it gave them amazing insights. So that's what I call swimming in it. It's the difference between doing your fast thinking judgment stuff, what ironically enough would be what framestorming is the fix for, and that is leaping, because leaping is fast thinking or system one thinking, as Daniel Kahneman would call it. In any case, by making something disfluent, by swimming in it, by doing your push-ups, by doing the work, you have insights in addition to gaining skills and progress in the real world that you can't possibly have from doing the quick, easy shortcut or visualizing outcomes, which you're still no closer to because the universe just doesn't care about you. It's not that it hates you. It's not that it loves you. The universe cares about you as much as this cup of tea cares about you. I know a lot of people will disagree, but I'm totally okay with that. I don't care. So what I'm saying is the universe is amoral and it is not conspiring to get you what you want. If that were the case, a lot of poor people would be rich. Let's talk about empirical evidence. Okay, so this episode is about how I suggested in the last episode, 36, which is the beginning of a series based on Winning the Brain Game by Matthew E. May. And he talks about 7 fatal flaws of thinking and their 7 fixes. So the first fix for leaping, which is a type of fast thinking using heuristics, cognitive shortcuts that save you energy and are very useful, but they oftentimes make mistakes depending on the situation. They usually work good enough in most cases, but they fail utterly in others. So framestorming is the cure, and this is brainstorming, but using questions. I suggested boldly and in a very cocky way, with absolute confidence, because I believed it was true, that you could improve framestorming as May describes it by, instead of asking the questions, I think it was why, what if, and how, with the 3 questions. He says, brainstorm questions around the problem, around the solution space, asking questions instead of leaping to solutions, leap to questions which help frame the problem, frame the solution space. And it's absolutely brilliant and it works. But I suggested all 7 WH questions would be even better. And in short, it is. The reason this is my 4th take or 5th take is because I demonstrated it in the video, but it takes at least an entire video to give an example of each one. Like basically asking a question and then showing why it's relevant. So please take my word for it now. You can certainly reach out to me if you want to go deeper into that, or just leave comments, questions. I will do my best to answer them. So as I said, what I found was it worked. I was delighted. And bear with me for a second, please. I need to have my notes because it's too much for me to just simply think about. I actually need to, there we go. So I tried it out, and what I realized is absolutely it's valid, but even more crazy that you could make a matrix, and May would call this overthinking. We're going to get into why these 7 fixes in multiple ways contradict one another, but they're still all valid. So who, what, why, when, where, how, which. Who, what, why, when, where, how, which. You could make a matrix so that you get things like who, what, and who, why. So who could use my product to help whom or who, depending on which convention you want to use. Or who could use this to accomplish what goal? Who would use this product? Why? Who would use this product for what reason? Just a quick example. So you can take that entire matrix and you can ask questions that are even deeper in dimension than the 7 WH. So you could take this now, and we've changed it from one-dimensional, from 3 questions to 7 questions, and now to 49 questions. But it gets weirder. And the weirder it gets, this comes from my own experience in ESL, and that was, how do you explain what who means without directly translating it? Who in Japanese is 誰. But instead of doing that, which just means they will now rely on remembering the translation, which is an utter failure in terms of a way to learn a language. I don't care who says otherwise. I can prove it, mostly by experience, but I can go find academic data to support it too. So instead, I wanted to describe the meaning of who, all in English. So now let me go through this list. So we've got 7 by 7 with those words that we as English speakers all know. But who is about people? What is typically about things? Why is about reason? When is about time? Where is about location? How is about process or steps? Do this, do this, do this, do this. And which is about choice. So now we can get a little weirder, a whole lot weirder. So we have 7 WH questions by 7 WH questions by the meaning of the 7 WH questions by the meaning of 7 WH questions, and literally creating a 4-dimensional question space. And no, I don't know how to visualize that. I just know it's mathematically possible to define it. So then you could get something like this, which would be who, things, when, location. So who would use what, use this thing, who would use what things, why would they use it, and in what location? Sounds crazy, but it'll work. This is extreme, but it could work. We're already out of time. It just shows you how you can take something like this brainstorming, take it to the next level, you test it in the real world, you find insights, and you learn something amazing and new. That's it for Crush It Club episode 37. Framestorming with WH questions. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.